Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today's video based on a Metasploit framework. Metasploit is a standard framework for a user primarily in offensive security or penetration testing. Before Metasploit, exploits and shellcode would be developed by various coders in various languages for various operating systems. The pen tester had a really upon trustworthiness of developer that code wasn't laden with a malware and learn how to developer initiated the exploit shellcode tools for to the functions originally developed by HD More as an open source project. Rapid 7 purchased Metasploit. Although originally developed as an open source project, Rapid 7 has now developed a pro version of Metasploit with a few more bells and whistles. Bells and whistles can be good and save time and money. Fortunately, the open source community edition of Metasploit is still available to the rest of us without thousands of dollars spent in a pro versions. If you are a professional pen tester, the efficiently and time saving acquired by using a pro version make investments. Metasploit interface. Metasploit has multiple interface including MSF Console and in interactive command line like a interface, MSF CLI, literal Linux command line interface, Armitage GUI based third party applications, MSF web browser based interface. Undebatably, the most common way to use Metasploit through the Metasploit's interactive shell MSF console. In recent years, Metasploit has integrated additional tools to make it more than just an exploitation framework. Tools such as Nmap, Nexus, Nexpose are new integrated in a Metasploit, so that can be enter a process for a port scanning, vulnerability scanning, exploitations, and post exploitations can all be done from the single tool. In additional, Metasploit has now integrated a Portugal. PortSQL is a popular enterprise level open source database management system database to store the data collect from your scan and exploits. Getting started with a Metasploit. Before we start Metasploit, it's a good idea to start a Portugal database in a background. This enables Metasploit to store data in a familiar relation database model. This enables easy and shameless access into your data. Metasploit will work without Portugal, but this database enables Metasploit to run faster searches and store the information you collect while scanning and exploitations. So here was the command of Portugal start and hit enter. Service was start. How can you check with command status? This was the activated Portugal. Okay. Now it's time to start using a Metasploit. You can enter start from a GUI application, exploitation tools, and MSF console. Or you can start by the entering MSF console in your terminal like this. Within a few seconds, you will be greeted by a familiar, if sometimes offbeat, Metasploit splash screen. If you have been using a Metasploit 4, you can immediately notice the welcome to speed environment of Metasploit 5. Note the command prompt MSF5. If you are using older version of Metasploit, your command prompt will be MSF without 5. This indicates that you are now inside the Metasploit interactive mode that they call MSF console. A word about terminology before we start. In a Metasploit terminology, an exploit is a module that takes advantage of system application vulnerabilities. It cracks open a door or window. The exploits then usually attempts to place a payload on a target system. This payload can be simple command shell or the all-powerful Metapredator. In other environment, these payloads might be termed listener or rootkits. To beginner, exploit and payloads modules are the most important, but we use auxiliary modules. Metasploit was a design with a modules. These modules are seven types: exploits, payloads, auxiliary, no, sorry, post, and encoders and divisions. From this MSF console, you can enter the system commands ifconfig ping, as well as Metasploit's keywords. To view the keywords, enter the help command in a prompt. Although Metasploit is a very powerful exploitation framework, just a few keywords can go to the start hacking. Let's take a look some those keywords commands. These the use commands leads modules. So for instance, if I wanted to load an exploit that look advantages of specific vulnerabilities in Adobe Flash, I might use the exploit Windows browser Adobe Flash AVM2 module. This is an exploit that takes advantage of one of the many vulnerabilities in Adobe Flash plugin. To do the load the module, I would enter use exploit Windows browser Adobe Flash AVM2. As you can see above, when Metasploit successfully load the module in a response with a type of module and abbreviated module name is read. After you load a module, the show command can be very useful to gather more information on the module. The three show commands I use most often are is a show option, show payload, and show target. Let's take a show payloads. So these command are when used after selecting your exploit, we will show you the all the payloads that are capable with a exploit you can select. If you run this command before selecting an exploit, it runs show all the payloads and very long list over 500. The show commands listed all the payloads that will work with this Metasploit. So this command is also very useful in running exploits. It will be display all the options that need to be set before running the module. This option includes such things as a IP address, URL path, the port number, etc. In the most exploit, you will see the following options: R host. This is the remote host or target IP. L host. This is the local host or attacker IP. R port. This is the remote port or target port. L port. This is the local port or attacker port. These can all be set by the using a set command following by variable name and then the values such as I set the set with a set command R host. A less commonly used command show targets. Each exploits has a list of targets it will work against. By using the show target commands, we can get the list of this. In this case, targeting is automatic, but sometimes exploit have a many hundred different targets, and successful will often depend upon you selecting a correct one. These targets can be defined by the target operating system, service pack, languages, among other factors. The info command is simple. When you type it after you have selected a module, it will show you a key information about the module like this. This is the description of our modules we are selected. If you scroll down a bit, you can see the more information, including the options that need to be set, the amount of payload space, a description of module, and references to learn more about vulnerabilities in exploits. I usually run the command after selecting my exploit. It simply helps me to understand the key features in an exploit before using it. This command used to set an option within a module you selected. For instance, if you look above the show options command, we can see the numerous options that must be set, such as a URI path, SVR host, and SVR port. We can set any of these vulnerabilities within a set command such as a set. These changes the default SVR port from 8080 to 80. These commands, as you might expect, unset the option is was previously set, such as unset SRV port. As you can see, we first set SRV port variable 80 variable 80, and then unset it. It reverted to the default value of 8080. That can be seen when we type the show options exploit. Once you have loaded our payload and set all the necessary options, then final action is a exploit. This sends a exploit to target system and if successfully initials the payload. The exploit start and running as a background job with a reverse handler on a port 4444. This exploit when started web browser host 0.0.0.0 on a port 80 with the randomized URL. We would be have a chosen specific URL and set it by changing a URL path variable with a set command like this. Our payload was started, server was started, and link was created. Okay. When we use a back command, take us a back on a step in our process. Use a back command to take us a back on a step in our process. So if you decide did the not want to be use Adobe Flash Enum AVM2 exploit, we would be type a back and it would be remove all loaded payloads and exit. The exit command, as you would be expect, exit us from a MSF console and back into the bash command shell. Thank you for watching this video.